Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Call of Duty and Battlefield Comparison. In the last episode we talked about parts which Battlefield has done a better job, and I named a few. Now I am going to go through parts which Call of Duty has done a better job. So it's Call of Duty fans' turn. Let's go. First thing that I want to talk about, and I can say it's one of the most important parts which Call of Duty has definitely and obviously done a better job. Well, when you ask even Battlefield fans which character in this franchise do you like, they will not name any. I myself used to be a Battlefield fan. I used to be really eager and try to defend it all the time. And I remember a friend asking me the same question. And I was speechless. I couldn't say anything. I had played the old Battlefields and the new Battlefields, and I was really good at it. I knew almost everything. I was really into this video game. I was bragging about the situation that Battlefield had, just the way I was bragging about it in the last episode. I was speaking about destruction and the level of enemy front, which wasn't that hard. It was realistic, and your enemies would actually finish. Really, they would finish. You could kill them all. But in Call of Duty, they would just pop up and they would never end unless you pushed forward. And in the veteran difficulty, it was almost impossible to push forward. So, I talked about all this. I bragged about all of it. But now I am going to talk about this part, this thing that my friend asked me once, and I was speechless in that. And really, I accepted that there is no absolute best in this scenario. Battlefield is not better than Call of Duty in all kinds of things. Not even Call of Duty is better than Battlefield in all kinds of things. It depends to you. Which things do you like? And this person talked about character design, and I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't know any character that I love in Battlefield. So they didn't put emphasis and they didn't pay much attention to characters. They were just simple people who got killed in the battlefield. Nothing else. But in Call of Duty, we have really crucial characters. No matter which series you pay attention to, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, which one you want to go for, all of them have unique characters. Even talking about Call of Duty World at War, which was before Black Ops 1, we have a character by the name of Viktor Reznov. Viktor Reznov was like my hero. Even though I used to be a Battlefield fan then, but when I played Call of Duty World at War, Reznov was like my hero. I loved Reznov. I just wanted to imitate his actions. The passion he had for fighting. You could see everything, and how they showed all these beautiful and epic scenes that this character made. This character was so crucial, you would leave with it. He was your companion. You fought side by side, defeating the Nazis. And it was epic. Something that you could really feel. Even though you wouldn't die, like I could see the enemy using an MP40 on him, he wouldn't die. The things that I talked about in last episode, but Viktor Reznov was the best. And not only Viktor Reznov. We were like, okay, it's only Viktor Reznov, no big deal. So wait, you were Dmitry Petrenko, and Dmitry Petrenko will appear in Black Ops 1. This time you will change sides. You will play as Viktor Reznov. And in Black Ops 1, only in one mission you will play as Viktor Reznov. But the rest, you have another really crucial character by the name of Mason. Mason is a hero. Someone that we all loved. Those who played Call of Duty series, Black Ops series. They loved him. And you know who we love even more? The man himself, Frank Woods. Frank Woods was my favorite. I imitated all his actions. I always wanted to talk like him. I even remember cutting my hair just like him, wanted to be a soldier like him. I used his lines, like the time that he said, "You look like hammered shit." I said this to my friends after not seeing him a while. It was perfect, it was epic. The lines, the dialogues, and the epic scenes that these characters create is just massive. And after I thought about this fact that Call of Duty has done a tremendously better job on character design, I was speechless, as I said, and I said maybe I should give up being a Battlefield fan. I'm a fan of both. I love them both. I never thought that I loved John Price so much. I didn't mention John Price. Yeah, Captain Price. The way he smokes his cigarette, his mustache, the way he speaks. You just cannot fall in love with this character. And this character is with you and you see him just destroying the enemies. Not in veteran difficulty though. In veteran difficulty, they will just turn him into a dummy. But in other aspects and the epic scenes that Captain Price creates, the dialogues he uses, everything is epic. E-P-I-C. So, Call of Duty fans out there, I totally know why you love this series. The character design itself is enough to fall in love, to leave the franchise. You're leaving it. You're not playing this video game. You're leaving it with the characters. You're going through different things, different missions with these characters. So you will not care about stuff like destruction or things like this because you're with them. You see these epic scenes and you will get goosebumps and you will get excited with these epic scenes that these characters create. You have lots of memories with them, for God's sake. Now that we talked about this really crucial thing, it's really crucial, we want to go through another part which Call of Duty has done a better job. And that part might seem a little bit not important. But I'll tell you why it's important. Well, the reaction your enemy shows to the gunfire is realistic in Call of Duty. But in Battlefield, is not realistic. But not all battlefields. Older battlefields have done a good job in this case. But again, even in older battlefields, they're not as good as Call of Duty. When you shoot your enemies, they react in a realistic way. They will bleed, and sometimes they will crawl just to survive because they cannot walk. Sometimes we have dismemberment. In some of the Call of Duties, we have dismemberment, like World at War, Black Ops series. Most of the Black Ops series have dismemberment in them, which is really realistic. It feels like it's a war and people get hurt. You can feel your people getting hurt. You can see the enemy is crushing your companions. And when you see it, you feel like you're in the battlefield and you see the parts which is really ugly about war. Ugly parts of the war has been showed tremendously also in this video game. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT himself. Well, it's you go in the battlefield in Call of Duty, you start shooting people, and you see enemies shooting back, you see your companions get hurt, you see some of them get hit by a mortar fire, and they lose their foot, they lose their hand, they cry out loud. You see these ugly parts of war, and then you will understand that war is not some video game. War is a bad thing. You see your enemies getting crushed by a missile, and all of that is epic. This is an important thing, the reaction that the enemies will show to the gunfire, even your companions show to the gunfire, because if you want to show that war is bad, if you want to show the true colors of the war, you have to bring in these reactions. So when you see that your companions are crying out loud, crying in pain, you will understand that it's not a pretty thing that we're doing. It's not something interesting. It's not a picnic. It's war. In addition to these really realistic reactions to gunfire, we have many cinematic scenes. It's like you're playing in a movie. You see a lot of cinematic things. All of a sudden something just blows up, and then your ears will start to ring, and someone shouting, "Get your head down and keep moving!" And you see everything is like hell on earth, and guns are blazing, bullets in the air. You don't know what to do. You get shocked, and it gives you that feeling. It's like you are inside that place, and it shows different parts of the battlefield so good. You will just start to love it. It's like your memory. Those who have played Call of Duty, it's like they have been in these wars. They have attended World War II. They have been in the Cold War. They have been in the 1980s doing some missions because they have the memory. And going through the third part in which Call of Duty has done a better job is in terms of the diversity of the storytelling. Well, it's not always modern warfare. You're not fighting in the present time. In many Call of Duties, you're fighting in World War II. And not only fighting Nazis. Sometimes you fight the Japanese. Sometimes you're in Africa doing some missions. You see this variety of storytelling, and in terms of environment that it puts you in, it's really diverse. It's really comprehensive. I remember I played Call of Duty 2 when I was younger. I played Call of Duty 2 and I loved it so much. And tell you what, something interesting happened. I played this video game and I thought that Call of Duty 2 was not only Call of Duty 2. I thought Call of Duty 2 was only about Soviets. The Battle of Stalingrad, nothing else. I played it again and I saw you are in different parts. You were Americans fighting against the Nazis in Normandy. And then you're Russians fighting against the Nazis in Stalingrad. And then again, you're the Brits fighting against the Nazis in Africa. I thought all of these things that I've played were Call of Duty 2. How is this possible? And not only that, there were some more missions. In Call of Duty 3, you can be the Polish fighting against the Nazis trying to take revenge. In World at War, you can be the Americans fighting against the Japanese. In Black Ops, we have lots of diverse missions. Like in Black Ops 1. Same thing happened to Black Ops 1. In Black Ops 1, I fight in Vietnam, I fought in Cuba, I fought in Vorkuta, I fought in different parts of the world. There weren't a place I didn't fight in. All these memories that it gives you from different parts of the history is just epic. So now, those Battlefield fans out there defending Battlefield all the time and being radical and saying Battlefield is better than Call of Duty in all kinds of things, I think they should think again. Because it's not the case. And the Call of Duty fans out there love this franchise. And they are radical about it, some of them, not all of them. They love it with their heart. It's because of the characters. It's because of the environments. Those who played Call of Duty are like veterans that have been in war and have all those memories of people getting hurt in different parts of the world and in different times of the history with different people and real crucial and epic characters. And that's why they love it so much. Now you know the reason. And now that you could find out about it, I would suggest you go and try and think about it. Try these video games, especially the older Call of Duties. The new ones are good as well. Nothing bad about them. They're just epic. They're real good. But the old ones, the memories that the real Call of Duty fans have from them is something that you will remember and brag about your whole life. Well, we've reached the end of the episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Call of Duty fans out there, I said that I look out for you. Same, I looked out for the Battlefield fans. I think this war between these two video games should come to an end. Both of them are really awesome in different parts. And in these parts I talked about. If you want to see more content like this and more comparisons in the future, like this video and subscribe us and click that bell button so that you will not miss out on our videos and our new episodes. And leave us a comment about what you think about these two video games. I want you to add more parts to this Call of Duty and Battlefield. I want you to say more things about them in the comments so that we will find out what other parts has Call of Duty and Battlefield done a better job. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.